Imagine a place where sunlight is never touched. A realm so dark and pressurized that it crushes steel like paper. It's a world right beneath our feet. Or, more accurately, beneath our oceans. And yet, it's as alien to us as the surface of another planet. In this abyssal zone, something extraordinary has just been discovered. Not a monster or lost city, but something even stranger. Something mysterious, invisible, and powerful. A dark oxygen anomaly unlike anything we've encountered before. It started with a deep-sea exploration mission off the coast of the Pacific, where autonomous submersibles were mapping uncharted territory nearly 11,000 meters below sea level. These high-tech underwater drones, equipped with sensors sensitive to the slightest changes in chemical composition, detected something that made scientists sit up and take notice. Oxygen. But not in the way we know it. At a depth where oxygen should not even exist in measurable quantities, the drones recorded pockets of oxygen-rich water. And not just a little. These zones were saturated far beyond normal parameters. Yet there was no photosynthesis, no surface mixing, and no apparent biological source. It didn't make sense. To grasp why this is so baffling, you need to understand the rules of the ocean. Oxygen, the molecule we depend on for life, enters the ocean primarily from the surface, where waves and wind allow air to dissolve into the water. As you descend, oxygen levels fall off rapidly, especially in deep trenches. And deprived of light, life adapts by slowing metabolism or evolving unique respiratory systems. But finding enriched oxygen zones in the deep sea flips all known science upside down. It's like discovering a fire burning in a vacuum of space. So what's going on? At first, oceanographers speculated there must be a leak or mechanical error in the sensor readings. But repeated tests using different equipment and methodologies all confirm the same. Think an oxygen surplus in a location where oxygen should be nearly not. Stranger still, the oxygen didn't behave normally. It lingered in tight and moving pockets like bubbles trapped in molasses, unaffected by currents or pressure changes. And then came the most chilling revelation. The water inside. These pockets was warmer than the surrounding environment by several degrees. Warmer in the pitch-black icy depths where temperatures hovered just above freezing. The idea of localized warmth accompanying high oxygen levels is a scientific paradox. It defies the thermodynamic behavior of deep-sea water. That's when the term dark oxygen started floating around the research labs. It wasn't just poetic. It represented an entirely new category of unexplained marine chemistry. And behind closed doors, some scientists began whispering more radical theories. Could it be microbial? Maybe some extremophile bacteria are known to generate oxygen through chemical reactions, even in the absence of sunlight. But the scale of these oxygen pockets far exceeds anything microbial colonies could reasonably produce. Unless we re-dealing with a form of life we have in. T.X. classify. Others proposed it might be geological. Perhaps ancient oxygen was trapped during a tectonic event and is now slowly seeping from beneath the seafloor. But again, the patterns didn't match. These pockets seemed to move ever so slightly as if they were alive. Not biologically alive, but responsive, reactive. What made this even more unsettling was the effect the discovery had on nearby marine life. Camera footage captured something extraordinary. Creatures normally sluggish in the cold depths became unusually active when entering these oxygen-rich zones. Some glowed faintly. Others exhibited behaviors never before documented. Swarming, diving, even rising vertically toward the surface. Against all survival instincts, it was as if something in the oxygen changed them. Temporarily, at least. A few minutes inside these zones, and their biology seemed to accelerate. Then, just as quickly, they would drift out and slow down again almost like flicking a switch on life itself. At this point, the data was too bizarre to keep quiet. A select group of researchers from different countries convened under a classified joint study. They wanted answers, but they also feared what those answers might mean. Was this some kind of natural phenomenon we had overlooked for centuries? Or was something new beginning to happen in our oceans? Something triggered by climate change? Or even something not of this earth? There were whispers of methane clathrates destabilizing under warming ocean temperatures, creating chemical reactions that might account for the anomaly. Others speculated it could be a sign of volcanic activity deep below the ocean floor, releasing exotic gases and compounds never before seen. But none of these theories could explain the precision, the almost perfect circular shapes of the oxygen zones, their consistent temperature gradient, and their inexplicable ability to remain intact over time. And then one of the drones disappeared. The submersible, equipped with high-definition sonar and telemetry, went silent during a dive into one of the largest oxygen pockets detected. Its last transmission showed distorted visuals, as if the signal was being bent or refracted like light through a prism. Then nothing. Total blackout. No wreckage. No distress signal. Just gone. The ocean swallowed it like a secret. The team sent another drone to investigate, which returned damaged, not crushed, but etched, as if something had chemically or energetically interacted with its outer shell. It bore markings that no one could explain, not scratches from rocks or collisions, but patterns. Intentional ones. That's when things escalated. Funding was pulled from some programs. Others received sudden injections of capital with strict non-disclosure agreements. The public was told it was a deep-sea equipment malfunction, but the researchers knew otherwise. Whatever this was, it wasn't just a scientific curiosity anymore. It was a mystery with real-world implications for biology, for chemistry, and possibly for our entire understanding of Earth's life systems. One researcher summed it up best in a single sentence. We thought we knew the ocean. We were wrong. And so begins our journey, not just into the ocean depths, but into a discovery that challenges the very laws of science. A phenomenon so quietly powerful, it could redefine how we think about life, energy, and the invisible systems shaping our world from the shadows. This is not just about a strange chemical reading or a lost robot. This is the beginning of the dark oxygen mystery, and we're only scratching the surface.